Hello, and welcome to Jazz Tonight. I'm Michael Jacobi, executive producer of Jazz on the Plaza and the host of Raising the Standards on KSCO Radio in Santa Cruz. As we continue our year and our homage to the great Ella Fitzgerald, today on Jazz Tonight, does that make sense? I guess it does. We have got our sponsor from Pruneyard Cinemas, my old buddy, Dan Orloff. How are you, buddy?
Michael, I'm well, thank you.
Managing principal of Pruneyard Cinemas.
Yes, sir.
How civilized is this?
Yes,
You've
pretty
got
nice.
I've got a martini, a screwdriver, our feet are up, and we're in a movie theater. Let's talk a little bit about that. And a little backstory on this is the film industry had been sliding a little bit for years, and people were just used to staying home with all the big screens. And so this concept kind of came along to give a warm and fuzzy feeling of going back to the movies. And you guys are the first guys to do it in the South Bay. Tell me how it all came together.
Well, we saw that trend as well, and then in Southern California, there are these luxury theaters where food and beverage are brought in, and it hadn't yet happened here in the South Bay. Pruneyard, the shopping center, was acquired, new owners, they're fixing it up. We approached them and said, we'd like to be part of this new lifestyle experience you're creating here. They were all behind it, and a year ago we started construction, and now we have 7 screens, all with these full recliner leather seats, food and beverage served during
So
films.
when you talk about a dine-in theater,
Right.
you actually have table service or seat service, if you will.
Correct. So our patrons arrive about 30 minutes before the film. They can order their food then, and server brings them the food. It usually arrives before the film begins, and they can order, from an incredible menu, prepared, or designed by our culinary director.
Right.
They can order from the bar, cocktails, beer, wine.
Marvelous bar called the Cedar Room. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that with Drew Johnson after the break. I want to point out, you may hear some sounds in the background, which is some construction going on here at the center, which should be pointed out because, this place is going hucklebuck.
Yeah.
You've added, the center has added a great deal of new clients, new restaurants. Pete's Coffee is here. They're building another couple of parking structures.
That's right. We're going to have a lot more parking in that 2-story structure. And it's going to be great.
Well, you talk about a one-stop entertainment evening. In the old days, we'll go to dinner, we'll get in the car, we'll go park somewhere else, then we'll go to a movie, we'll get in the car, we'll park somewhere else, we'll go out for a drink. Hey, one time, that's it.
Right. You have the retail, you have the entertainment components here at Pruneyard. We're easy to get to. You don't have the congestion that you have around some other centers, and the reaction's been wonderful.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because, frankly, for a lot of people, the 500-pound gorilla in the room are people that go, I don't know if I want people eating next to me.
Right.
And to a person, you haven't had any complaints.
Interesting.
It's not like you're cutting rack of lamb, first of all. Let's be clear on that.
Right. No, we're not. And while there might be a few people that would prefer not to have any distraction, we've actually had 0 complaints. People figure it out pretty quickly whether they can tolerate the little distractions that might occur. Our servers, we call them ninjas.
Yeah, they are. They are very stealth.
They're dressed in black. They're stealth. They'll stoop on through. Again, there are people, we hear it all the time, that having been here once, it's spoiled them on all other cinemas, that they just can't do it anymore.
Well, and we should explain there's an option. It's either you don't need, it's not part and parcel that you have to order food.
That's right.
But should you want popcorn, candy, things like that?
Right, so we
got
have
all these great seasoned popcorns as well.
Well, right. So we have all of our popcorn is organic. It's real butter. We have a Rocky Road popcorn, which is remarkable.
Gilding the lily.
That's correct. That's very popular. And in fact, there are people that are requesting we develop a flight of popcorn so they could have, parts of all 3. So
great.
It's cool. It's very cool.
You and I come from a background of PR and media. We're dinosaurs in this business.
Yeah, no kidding.
So this must be, and truth be known, I'm involved a little bit in it as well. But it's got to be a kick because it's a new thing.
Right.
And to be on the leading edge of something like this, that's be a lot of fun.
Well, as one of my former clients used to finally remind me, there are no degrees of unique. We are unique.
Yeah.
And while other cinemas with seating like ours will open, I doubt many will have a culinary director and an executive chef where all of the ingredients are locally sourced and great love and care are applied.
That's a big factor. I mean, because, it's not the kind of thing you throw in a microwave and come out, with a frozen flatbread or something or pizza.
Right.
So that's neat. Well, kudos to you and your staff and,
Thank you,
and the
Michael.
other principals. You guys have done a marvelous job here, and thank you for underwriting Jazz Tonight this year. Pruneyard Cinemas, folks, we're going to break a second and show you a little bit more behind the scenes. Then we're going to talk to Drew Johnson. Is he your beverage director, or he runs the Cedar Room?
He runs the Cedar Room,
which is
and
so hip because
very hip.
It's the classic crafted cocktails.
And it's at the home of what many of your viewers will remember was Boswell's.
Boswell's.
Yes.
So
there
that is
you go.
wonderful. So let's take a break, and we'll be right back to Jazz Tonight.
I'm Amy Cervini.
I'm Sarah Gazarek,
I'm Peter Eldridge.
and you are watching KCAT TV 15.
1, 2, 3.
The more I'm with you, pretty baby, the more I feel my love increase. I'm building all my dreams around you. Our happiness will never cease. 'Cause nothing's any good without you. 'Cause baby, you're my center
And we're back. Welcome indeed to Jazz Tonight and through the miracle of video and a marvelous kitchen here. The food has arrived. How stealth are those people? I didn't even see one. This food
right.
absolutely came out of nowhere.
Yep, well put.
All right, you've got a flatbread.
I do. With some
with
ham and some prosciutto and some apple slice and this wonderful
It's
cheese.
ham, but it's not as romantic.
That's prosciutto, right.
And I've got a beef brisket sandwich with fries. And I mean, this is unbelievable.
Well, this is from our summer menu. We had a spring menu. I mean, this is what happens here.
And as I say, we'll talk a little bit more about the cocktails when we
Right.
get through on in a little while. Let's talk a little bit, certainly, and everybody assumes that everything's state-of-the-art, but in a lot of theaters it's not. But this is the projectors. I know you guys went to great lengths to get exactly the projectors you needed.
Yes, sir.
The highest quality.
Sony 4K digital, and we have the Dolby Sound surround, and it's just a wonderful, all immersive experience.
Yeah. This also begs the question, I mean, because it's such a great venue, what starts out is this is a marvelous place to see a film, which it is. Then it becomes a marvelous place to have a drink, which it is.
Yes.
And then a marvelous place to have a bite to eat, which it is. You're talking, this originally, I believe, was your concept. You're talking about doing entertainment
Right.
in the Cedar Room as well.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that. I know you were trying to get the Rolling Stones unplugged. That may not work out.
Well, Mick was tied up, but Keith was available.
Tough to get a walker through those.
Right. So we're going to bring live music into Cedar Room. It will be of various genres, from jazz, blues, classic rock, you name it, to augment the experience there. There's a lot of music history in our area, and we're going to celebrate that too, so people will see and hear familiar artists, and we're going to be introducing up-and-coming artists as well.
Right. And the Pruneyard, as you say, about a great history of music. What was the Garrett was here?
The Garrett,
was here,
Boswell's, of course.
Boswell's,
Many of you viewers.
Our friend Joe Chirino used to play here all the time.
And over nearby at the factory at Bodega. So,
That's right.
So we want to bring back that kind of energy, and we can have music till as late in the evening as
You're
as
open
we
to
want.
2.
We're open to 2 in the
every
morning.
evening.
Right, and it's a wonderful place to come late at night. Tons of parking.
Now we again, drinks, film, food. Then there's the other option, and what a marvelous idea this is for a company outing,
Right.
special event, a private screening. I know
Right.
you're starting to do some of those.
Yeah, we just had a bridal reception here which was a lot of fun. They brought in 100 of their guests and showed a video of the wedding couple, and then there was after party at Cedar Room, which they were able to we four-walled that. We have business meetings held here now, so company can come in, they can put their PowerPoint projector presentation through our digital projector. We have the remote mic, and they're presenting.
All right, now how do folks find out more about this, or is there someone to talk to, or is
Sure.
there a place on the website?
Yeah, they're going to go to
The direct
pruneyardcinemas.com, and there's information there about the rentals. There's a phone number people can call. That's a part of our connection to the community that we're uniquely excited about.
All right. Dan Orloff, managing principal. Always good to see you, pal. And,
Always good to see you, Michael.
Salute and success to your endeavor, and it seems to
Right.
be going well.
Yes.
And we appreciate that. And how bad could it be?
Not bad at all.
Stoli, a little bit of Tom Cruise.
Life is
and,
good.
Your feet are up. We'll be back to Jazz Tonight in just a moment.
Hello, and welcome to Pruneyard Cinemas, Silicon Valley's most unique movie-going experience, and the South Bay's only service-to-your-seat luxury theater. Since this concept is probably new to many of you, let me take a moment to help you make the most of your visit. At the Pruneyard, the show starts long before the film begins. From our media wall in our lobby, keeping you up to date on happenings here at the theater, to our concessions area, which is, well, pretty special. Oh, you had dinner and cocktails in mind? Well, you came to the right place. Our chef-driven kitchen and Cedar Room offers seasonal bites which pair perfectly with our craft cocktails, draft beers, and local wines, and are all available at the bar and at your seat. It's really quite simple. If you'd like something from concession, something from the kitchen, or from the bar, just press the call button to your right, and one of our servers will be with you in no time. So that's it, just place your order. Thank you. They will be back with your check long before that critical scene in the movie. Our goal is to not disrupt you or your neighbor's experience. So just put up your feet and enjoy the show.
And welcome back to Jazz Tonight. Jacobi with you with our visit to the Pruneyard Cinemas, and more specifically now, we're going to talk a little bit about the Cedar Room with my pal Drew Johnson, who is the title Supreme Allied Commander. Is that what it was?
You know, it depends. Depends on who you ask.
See which is taken.
That's the one I prefer. But
that's right, and you
yeah.
just need a bigger card. And you can see I've got a new guest and new drinks, because you can't use the same drinks.
No, that's
You
right.
get-
The drinks are already gone.
You are the master of crafted cocktails. First of all,
Well, thank you.
Tell
Thank
me
you.
about your background a little bit.
Sweet. So, born and raised here in San Jose.
Okay.
Got into bartending some point in college, and was lucky enough to work with some of the brightest up and coming bartenders in the area over the last 10 years.
You know, it's interesting, Drew. 20 years ago, barbers became hairstylists and bartenders became mixologists.
Sure.
But for good reason. It wasn't just a change in name.
Yeah.
There was really a
Yeah.
change in philosophy, and certainly a change in the talent that you needed to have.
Yeah. Well, I would say, the bar profession has become, it may be a humble line of work, but it is a skill set in and of itself.
Well,
And,
absolutely. It's no longer just a matter of looking at the bartender's guide.
That's right. That's right.
And, it's funny because I was in a place in New York a couple of years ago, and there's a way that the tail can wag the dog a little bit in some of these deals. And I said, a shot of Patron and give me a beer. And he goes, oh, no. I go, what do you mean, oh, no? He says, I'm going to explain how this works. And it was really like 20 minutes. And I, that's okay.
Yeah.
But what I'd rather have is a guy like you guys do, and your staff does here at the Cedar Room, says, you know what you'd really enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing.
Well, I love that
hear.
you say that. I mean, I think that's, that's one of the most important things about this bar. We want to make sure that we're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
We're here to give people what they want. We pour awesome drinks, but we're not here to make it a complicated matter.
Right. Well, as I call it, the world-class neighborhood bar.
Exactly.
For instance, these are great-looking cocktails. So
Well, thank
tell
you.
me what
Thank
you got here.
So this one right here in front of me is the Stirrup Cup.
Okay.
Now this is our rendition on what an Irishman a couple hundred years ago would call their nightcap drink. Okay. So the Stirrup Cup would be the drink that he would get before leaving the bar and hopping on his horse.
Okay.
So usually it's really? A cocktail cut with something to kind of sweeten it up and make it like a nice little dessert. This one we have right here is Jameson Irish whiskey with elderflower, mint, and lemon with a touch of soda.
And is that a cucumber?
That is a cucumber. So that's a nice cucumber ribbon that we slice up every day and spiral it down the glass.
That's very cool. And what's this?
That one's the Pan American Clipper. Now, I think that's a great one to show off. I don't know if I had told you this, but our whole menu, for the most part, is based off this book called Gentleman's Companion.
Okay.
It was written by this guy, Charles Baker. And this dude, Charles, he was right-hand man to Hemingway.
Really?
Back in the day.
All right.
And so they were like drinking buddies.
Yeah.
And they'd travel
Which
around.
was a
and
full-time job.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right. They took it seriously.
Yeah.
And so they'd travel around and write about their drinking stories. And they have some of the best stories in that book. And this cocktail right here, the Pan American Clipper, is rightly named after that first airline.
Right. The one across the ocean.
The one that crossed the ocean between North America and South America. And so our cocktail menu is greatly inspired by kind of world fare, a lot of travel, trying out just the kind of different tastes of different cultures.
Well, and we should explain at the Pruneyard Cinemas when it's the food is a level above, and it really is spectacular. As are the drinks, which you can obviously bring into the theaters. And you guys are open till 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning every night.
But we should also explain, as Dan pointed out, if you know this area, it's the old Boswells. You don't need to go to a movie. I mean, you guys are open.
Yeah.
It's not, sometimes people think, I can't go in there unless I bought a ticket. That's not what it's about.
That's so true. The way I've started thinking about it is it's almost like a really good hotel bar. In the sense where you don't have to stay at the hotel. You don't have to be a visitor or someone staying in town for a short time. Like, you can stop by this bar anytime you want and enjoy our cocktails and food, whether or not you see a movie.
Well, think about it from a social standpoint. If you meet somebody you're attracted to, you obviously have the option of saying, I'll tell you what, why don't we just catch a movie together, get to know each other.
That's right. And I also heard for the attracted people who have already met and have kids now,
yes,
I've heard parents sending their kids to the movie while they hang out at the bar.
That's a great idea.
Isn't that a great idea?
That's a great idea.
I enjoyed that one.
Talk to me a little bit about you. And I know I was here one day when the folks from eBay came over. So you're getting to be quite the place for groups to hang out.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, because we're surrounded here at the Pruneyard
Sure.
with so many major companies.
Yeah, the Pruneyard has definitely become that destination for a lot of corporate events, a lot of large parties. So it's a place to go.
We
for sure.
were talking in the first segment. As much as I love an evening out, it does get to be a bit of a pain when you've got to drive somewhere,
Sure.
get out of the car, go in, come out, go in. This really is the classic one-stop entertainment venue.
Exactly. I would say so. I mean, you could really make a night out of your stay with Pruneyard Cinemas and Cedar Room.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it right and you come and you see a movie, let's say you see a 7 o'clock show, and you grab a drink before the movie and head on in to have dinner with your movie, you got a couple hours there. And what I've seen so many people do is they want to kind of keep the night going and talk about the movie.
Have a nightcap, yeah.
And it's awesome seeing people at the bar, talking about movies it's been a topic at the bar for sure. And you see so many people meet over that conversation of what movie they just saw. And I mean, for me and my group of friends, that's our favorite thing to do is talk about what we just watched, and now you're extending that to new.
And so much
new
more
friends.
comfortable. I mean, back in the day, you rode home in the car talking about the movie, and comparing notes.
That's right.
Tell me about you guys. Quite literally, bring something special to the table and to the bar. And I want to talk about your staff in a second, a little bit more. But you can order food in the Cedar Room as well, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
so you can have dinner there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a big background in service?
I've been working in restaurant and bars, for a good 15 years now. I mean, it was the first job I had. You know, whether I was in school, whether I was, you know, pursuing a career in education, for whatever reason, I was always working in restaurants, and I could never kind of get away from it.
Well, it's I'm always.
I love it.
I've been involved with restaurants
Yeah.
because I know marketing for most of my life. Danny Myers, who started the
Yeah,
Shake Shack
yeah,
in
of
New
course.
York, used to have an acronym called HQ, and it was Hospitality Quotient, which is that you really get how to serve people.
Yeah.
And your staff has that. Yeah. And I'm thinking you guys just didn't open the doors. You guys spent an awful lot of time putting the right staff together
Exactly.
and training them. Not only training them on the
Yeah.
cocktails,
Yeah.
but training them, making them, and bringing them.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one thing that I look back at, you know, with my career is, you know, the mixing of drinks and that art form and that creative process. That's something that you can learn and develop over time. But having that sensibility or that focus on service to others, of being of service, you know, looking to make others' days better than they were before, that is something that, you know, you either have it or you don't, or that's either something that you want to give or you don't. And for our staff, across the board, they all come from such a wide range of different backgrounds, and they've worked at so many different kinds of bars and restaurants, but all of them share that same love of serving others.
I've always felt that it's a calling more than a vocation.
Yeah.
The menu, what's your favorite? Do you have a couple favorite things on the menu?
Sure. I mean, so one thing on our cocktail or our drink menu that I'm super proud of is our extensive Boilermaker list. So Boilermaker being a shot and a beer combo, somewhat of an industry standard. You know, I think that's a big part of who we are. We're very, very precise and particular about the drinks that we mix.
So you've got a great collection of bourbons.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. But so we on the one hand, you know, we're very, very precise, very focused on our drink program, very calculated and very careful, and you know, pay attention to detail. But at the same time, you know, people drink for a whole number of different reasons, and you know, sometimes after work, what you really want is just a beer and a shot, and you just want to hang
That's
out.
right. That's
and so we have
exactly
those
right.
nice pairings that you know, spend a lot of time putting together.
You have 20 beers on tap?
We have 22 beers on tap.
Beers on tap.
Yeah, and those are all fresh and local. I think it's super important, you know, especially in the world we live in today. There are so many breweries close by.
Well, it's like tantamount to the wineries.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You want to serve local wines. You want to serve local IPAs.
And it makes a difference. It really does.
So you could get, if you come to a matinee, for instance, you can eat and you can order drinks from the Cedar Room.
Yeah.
But you open as a bar at 4 o'clock, right?
At 4 o'clock on Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And then on Saturday and Sunday, we open up early for lunch at 11 o'clock.
Oh, you do? Okay, and you're open till 2 a.m. every night.
Every single night.
You just moved up here. That's good.
That's right.
You going to put the cot right next to the bourbon? Or what are you
Yeah,
gonna put that?
yeah, that's right. They got a nice little spot for me right underneath
We
the
got
bar.
a couple of minutes left. Give me a couple of food items that you like.
For the food, so if you're in the bar, you know, the best way to do it is pair your drinks with like a nice little snack. I recommend the spice mixed nuts.
Okay.
I think they're great way to get started. You know, I love shareable dishes. When I go out, I love that, you know, something to share with my friends. The nachos are phenomenal.
Nachos are great.
And I don't know how they do it in the kitchen, but Chef Kimmy has worked hard to make sure that plate of nachos is layered up so well that every single bite is balanced with every single ingredient. Whether it's the house-made refried beans, you know, the lime avocado crema, we have chicken on there, a little pico de gallo, and I'm amazed every time I try it.
Well, I got to tell you, for folks that visit here the first time, and once you visit here once, you will continue to come back. But on occasion, in this world, things come together. And this has come together as good as it can. From the service, the food, the venue, the films.
Undoubtedly.
It's wonderful. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you
that
too.
wasn't
Thank
that
you very
tough,
much.
was it?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Supreme Allied Commander Drew Johnson. That's Jazz Tonight. Until next week.
All right.
I'm Jacobi. I'll see you soon.